Hey guys, thank you so much for downloading and listening to this episode of On the Beat. Have you rated or reviewed us yet? If not, why? The best way for us to grow is by sharing us with your friends and rating and reviewing us wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify has a new rating feature right on our podcast front page. It is super easy, and the more 5-star ratings and reviews we get, the better it is for us to grow. If you screenshot and DM us your review, we'll share the most flattering ones on an upcoming episode. Thank you so much for listening, and your support is marvelous and appreciated. Well, hello there. Welcome to On the Beat, the podcast that uncovers full frontal male nudity in cinema. My name is Laura, and I am joined by my co-host, Ryan.
Hello, we made it to another year.
Oh my god, we did it!
I mean, we only started last August.
True.
So technically we haven't made it a year yet, but
we've made it through a year.
We did.
Physically.
Physically, I wouldn't say mentally, but physically we have made it through another year.
And certainly not emotionally.
No.
Temporally.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We don't
existentially.
We don't need to repeat the fact the last 2 years have been total shite. So
fair.
Let's just
But the shitiness of the last couple of years has propelled us into doing what we love, which is this podcast and talking about movies.
I mean, I have more than one passion than talking about movies on a podcast.
I'd have nothing else. This is all I have.
Oh, that's sad.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's better to have one thing that you absolutely love than be terrible and get zero recognition for at least three things that you do. Anyway.
I think you're very talented.
No one.
And I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah, no one cares. Let's just get into this. Let's do this.
Well, I don't know if you're ready, but I am ready to talk about the 1998 erotic crime thriller Wild Things.
Is it really an erotic thriller, though?
Yes. They, no joke, called it a neo-noir erotic crime thriller.
Right, okay.
And I didn't write down neo-noir because I'm like, that's stupid. We've done those before, and this certainly isn't that. This is our first Kevin Bacon naked movie.
Yeah, he's in a few. There's a few,
actually.
Oh, well then
I know he seems to be a guy that would have done more, but only 2.
Yeah, seems like a big advocate for getting his dick out and things,
Absolutely.
even if he's only done 2.
I know, but I'm fine with that. Hey, he's done more than most have.
That's all right. I think you always have to be a little bit wary of someone who's like willing to get their dick out at a moment's notice. So.
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, so I think you always
have to be
wary. Which I'm fine
with that. See. Harvey Keitel.
I'm fine with that, see?
Hey.
I'm fine with that, see?
Hey, take your dick out.
He's showing me his penis. I'm fine with that, see?
La-di-da-da.
Stop the press.
Okay, Kevin Bacon's in this movie as Sergeant Ray Duquette, which is like hearkening to some weird swamp Louisiana shit, which this is not based in Louisiana. It's based in South Florida.
It is, near the Glades.
Represent the Glades.
Near the Glades.
No one ever calls the Everglades the Glades.
Do they not?
I've never heard that. I've been to the Everglades. I've been a la Matt Dillon riding in an airboat through the Everglades. I've worked in the Everglades.
Well, it's customary.
Never have I called it the Glades.
It's customary to be an actual Floridian. You have to own a piece of nautical equipment in order to be a true Floridian. Yeah, so his is an airboat. We're yet to get a schooner, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm also scared of the open water, so I have no idea.
I have a
and
friend.
There are so many beasties and like so many patches of water here that it's like it's terrifying.
No, yeah. We were walking past the lake the other day, and you said, "You think there's alligators in here?"
Yeah.
And I said, if it's a body of water in Florida, there's definitely alligators in there.
Well, I like to take photos, and I like to take photos of things, and it sometimes find myself in positions of
imminent danger.
Potentially. Certainly more here. Less back home.
Yeah.
It was unlikely that a water moccasin was going to jump out of a puddle back home and fucking bite me in the throat.
Fair enough.
So, that's kind of the main thing that I'm thinking about there, is the addition of all these reptiles. But, yeah.
I know that a friend of ours has said that to be a true Floridian, you always, in the trunk of your car, you have to have extra bathing suits, sunscreen, and towels.
Yeah, we have that already.
We've got our beach pack.
Mm-hmm.
And we never go to the beach.
No, well, we haven't gone to the beach recently. We have gone to the beach before.
Right.
So there has been something, yes.
We have been to the beach.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, yeah, we just haven't been, but the beaches are lovely here. So, it doesn't really matter. And I say that coming from someone who went to the beach recently and got stung by a fucking jellyfish. So, yeah, there is that.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. There's some other people in this movie. Matt Dillon plays Sam Lombardo.
Fuck yeah.
Neve Campbell is Susie Toller, who, by the way, was 25 when they filmed this movie, which isn't terrible for being an adult playing someone in high school.
Yeah.
But Denise Richards, who plays Kelly Van Ryan, was 27, which is so funny because when we were watching it, I'm like, the only person that looks too old to be playing their role is Neve Campbell.
Is it Neve or is it Neve? I think it's Neve.
Is it?
It's Neve Campbell. Yeah.
You can call her Neve, and then it'll be like 50% wrong.
Neve. It's not Neve.
That was Neve Campbell.
Yeah, like it's short for Neville. It's Neve.
Neville Longbottom.
Neville Longbottom. Campbell. Yeah. Old Neve. I'm
gonna have a hard time calling her Neve. I'm serious.
Well, then call her Neve then. If you're gonna have a hard trouble calling her Neve.
Oh, I meant Neve. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, see? You're already having trouble.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's also in this movie.
Yeah, he's actually really good in this movie.
And Teresa Russell, who I recognize from a million things. She's beautiful.
Okay.
So tell me about the director. Our director is John McNaughton.
John McNaughton. So, John McNaughton, film and TV director. Let's just say he is probably most known for being the director and co-writer with, I think it's Richard Fire is the other writer on this movie, for Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, which is that Michael Rooker low-budget serial killer movie, which I think is amazing. You don't think so?
What movie was it? I was looking at Neve Campbell, by the way. I'm right. You're wrong.
Oh, is it Neve?
Rhymes with Bev.
Oh.
That's what it says.
Neve likes the Bev.
Who doesn't? What movie were you talking about? What movie were you talking about? I'm sorry. A low-budget horror movie?
No, it's the serial killer movie, Henry.
Oh, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Sorry. Yeah, I dove into the Neve Campbell thing. Yeah, that movie is fucked up. That's another movie where I almost have to physically shut down in order to get through it.
Yeah, so Michael Rooker. Yeah, Michael Rooker in the starring role. That film was originally made in 1984, but due to the controversy surrounding the movie, it didn't actually get a release until 1986.
Wasn't it banned?
Of course it was banned.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Yeah, there's a lot of horrible stuff that happens in that movie, but I think if you can watch it and find it somewhere, because that's a film I don't even have a copy of. So no. I mean, I wouldn't mind actually finding a nice good old Blu-ray of Henry, put it in the collection. Yeah,
enjoy watching that again on your own. I'm good.
It's a good
movie.
One and done. It's a good movie. Well, that's fine. Everyone's too sensitive these days. So, so Henry comes out 1986. He makes another movie called Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll in 1991. He makes a film that I've seen, or at least seen parts of, called The Borrower in 1991 as well, which is basically as an alien life form comes to Earth and tries to fit in with society and with human beings. But in order to do that, he has to borrow human heads.
What?
Yeah, and they put borrow in quotations because obviously you can't just borrow someone's head.
Fair.
So
I like that. I want to watch that.
It's a good movie. It's
not to be confused with The Borrowers.
No. Don't get those mixed up and start showing your kids The Borrower, because you'll be in for a hard time. You're gonna have a bad time. 93 makes Mad Dog and Glory. That also has Bill Murray in it.
Yeah.
And he's also done a bit of TV, so he does, personal favourite of mine, Girls in Prison in 94.
Get out of here.
I've never seen it before.
That sounds like
someone's kink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the thing it's from that I remember seeing. It's like Girls in Prison, Women in Prison. I can't remember. But in between 94 and 96, you probably remember this, Homicide, Life on the Street.
It was from that podcast that other podcast you like.
What's that?
That podcast with all the men in the comic book store.
Tell him Steve Dave.
Yeah. And they did that rap
They did, yeah.
The prison rap.
Yeah, he liked the prison, women in prisons, yeah.
Yes, that was very funny.
Yeah.
Tell him Steve Dave, that's what it was.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. So yeah, Homicide, Life on the Street. I think we've all seen at least an episode of that in one way or another.
I don't know.
It's kind of like NYPD Blue. It's just kind of in the same Thursday, right? Okay,
I don't like those.
So in '96, he makes a film called Normal Life. In '91, it's a TV movie called Firehouse. And then in '98, oh no, that's '97. Sorry, in '98 he does Wild Things.
Finally,
yeah,
the coup de grace.
We get there, but certainly when I was looking at John McNaughton, his like the director is not the first person that comes up.
Okay.
The first person that comes up is a fine artist, also by the same name.
Okay.
He does paintings.
Cool.
And that's it. So,
That's not the McNaughton I'm interested in. I'm interested in this McNaughton.
McNaughty.
Yeah, McNaughty.
Yeah, McNaughty. He did a naughty movie.
You did. And you know what? Funny. I thought it was going to be naughtier. I thought it was going to be more erotic because this movie caused such a stir when it came out. It's the sexy thriller, and you know I love my sexy thrillers. But again, I was 13 when this film came out, as were you. Yeah. And there's boobies, everything's wet, and you've got a threesome, which is awesome. And it really came off less sexy this time around. I mean, we've probably seen a lot more erotic things in these past 20 some odd years since.
I would say I agree with you completely, but I feel like we're now in our 30s. We're like relatively desensitized to because we've seen plenty of stuff in our lifetime.
I still enjoy the things, I still enjoy the sexy thrillers when they come about, but this didn't feel.
There's some titillation for sure.
Yeah, it didn't feel as much of like pushing the boundaries as I remember. Its legacy is probably bigger than the actual film itself. Yeah,
I would say so. Because this was shock horror. This was the first time I'd seen this film all the way through.
Yes, I did not realize that until last night.
Yeah, so I have seen the sex scene probably more times than the film itself. And I'll tell you for why.
Yeah, tell me why, Ryan.
So, no, back home, back in the UK, they like to do like top 50 sexiest scenes in movies, like kind of shut down. So they get all these D-list like journalists to talk about these films. And I'm assuming they only show them the scene and they've never seen the film themselves. And they just commentate on what they're seeing in the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bollocks, right? So you're looking at it and then you're like, oh my God, it's Denise Richards' tits. Fuck. Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like that whole thing, like I never understood the context as to why that happens, because obviously you're watching the movie and as the movie begins, you're kind of watching it. You're like, how the fuck did we get to that bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Twisty turny.
It's one of those, and I think we're going to be very careful of the fact that like, I don't think this film's great, but I think experiencing it for the first time, I think it's a really interesting kind of twisty turny sort of thriller. Experienced it the first time, it's actually pretty good. Hour and 50 minutes of what its length is.
Yeah, for sure.
It's enjoyable all the way through. So I don't want to like spoil any of that stuff for anybody, because it doesn't. To be honest, we don't have to fucking talk about it because it's not really pertaining to the plot. I think the kind of way that we'll do it is we'll try and sneak our way through it all, so that you're not spoiled by it if you do want to enjoy Wild Things. And certainly, if you don't enjoy this one, there's at least 3 other sequels to Wild Things that you can watch as well.
These have covers, these sequels. There's Wild Things 2.
Yeah.
Wild Things, Diamonds in the Rough, which is the third. And then the fourth one, which, perfect title.
Yeah.
Wild Things, Foursome.
Yeah.
I remember all of those coming out, the first 2.
Well, they all look like the cover to Blue Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, I think that the second one, the Diamonds in the Rough one, looks like a Fast and Furious knockoff.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. And I remember I was working at Hollywood Video, and I remember seeing those on the shelf, thinking like, oh, there's some, because there's always those, big title will come out, and then you get those shitty knockoff movies that come out around the same time, and they'll be parked right next to the ones that you want. So when you come in looking for Wild Things or whatever, you've got this one right next to it, and then you can mistake it. People did that all the time.
Yeah, of course.
They're like, oh, I thought this was Cloverfield, and it's something stupid.
Clover Patch.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember those covers. They're very distinctive.
Yeah.
Never saw them.
No. Well, I never watched them. I didn't make the mistake of picking up the wrong movie, but no, I let my dad do stuff like that, like pick the wrong movies. That's why I watched something. I watched like 8mm when it first came out on video.
Hell yeah.
And I probably wasn't even 14.
Yeah.
Well, no, I can't. Yeah, no, I can't have been. I can't have been by the time, like, whatever age I was back then.
Yeah.
I was probably preteen.
I don't remember when 8mm came out.
Yeah.
Do you want me to look?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, actually, maybe we could figure it out and figure out how old I was. But let's put it this way: I think there's one scene in that where there's a nurse. There's a sexy nurse. I say sexy nurse. I mean, she was in a nurse uniform, but she had her boobs exposed. They cut a couple of holes in her top, and she's sticking a vacuum cleaner down a man's ass.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I remember because it was edgy.
No, well, yeah. You got it like spot on. It was 99.
Oh shit! There you
14.
go.
You're so good at that.
Yeah, I was pretty much. It influenced me to be a fuck up for most of my life, probably. So. Yeah, let's get into the.
Okay, let me tell you what this movie's about.
The meat and the potatoes of
here's a synopsis.
This South Florida.
Ready? Okay. When teen socialite Kelly Van Ryan and troubled bad girl Susie Toller accuse guidance counselor Sam Lombardo of rape, he's suspended by the school, rejected by the town, and fighting to get his life back. One cop suspects conspiracy, but nothing is what it seems.
Okay.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the tagline?
Do I?
They're dying to play with you.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Me either.
Who's dying to play with you?
The ladies.
The ladies. I guess that gets the men in the seats, you know what I mean?
Heck yeah.
Where they're just like, ooh, got this one on one ball, got this other one on another ball. It's 2 girls, 2 balls, you know?
There you
Crazy.
go. 1 for 1.
Yeah, 1 for 1. That's it.
Sharing is caring.
Simple maths. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So okay, I got you. Yeah, they're really playing into the sexy. I mean, all the marketing stuff where they were playing into the sexy stuff. Because there's those, the 2 girls are like just their heads just slightly above the water and stuff like that. I don't think the poster is fantastic, but I mean you remember it.
Yes.
Put it that way, you remember it.
The opening title card I liked because it was all in the Everglades, not just the Glades. It had the alligator popping up. It looked cool. Yeah,
that stuff looks really nice. I think it's Jeffrey Kimball who shot this one, right?
Yeah.
So I think he's made it look quite nice.
You know what else he did, right? I wrote down some stuff.
See,
you looking at my notes?
No, I can't. Well, I can't see them because they're too small. Because my eyesight's terrible.
Jacob's Ladder.
Oh yeah, he said
Adrian
that. Yeah,
Lynn.
he said that one. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Beverly Hills Cop 2. True Romance. Tony Scott.
Yeah, no, he's a Tony Scott. Yeah, he's worked with a lot of those. He might have came from the same crop as the British advertising boom of the 60s and stuff. That's probably why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He did a lot of music videos too, but I haven't seen most of them.
What sort of music videos did he do?
The only one I wrote down is Beyonce, Run the World.
Okay. Yeah, look, he's,
I remember that video.
Yeah, he's working. He's getting it done.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Yeah, because he's like probably the same as like an Adrian Biddle. Same dude.
Who's
Same
that?
dude did that. Adrian Biddle shot Aliens.
Oh.
And he shot some stuff for Ridley Scott, Tony Scott.
Honestly, I don't really have that much to say about this movie itself. But there are parts that I really liked and parts and things that I thought were really funny. Like, we don't know how things are going to occur because the movie is so kind of topsy-turvy and you don't know what direction it's going in.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Bacon said that when he read the script, it was like the biggest piece of trash he'd ever read, but every page had a new surprise.
Okay.
And I think that obviously comes through when you're watching the movie. But we were watching it last night and you're like, how are they going to get in a threesome? How is this going to happen?
How is this going to occur?
Right? And I thought it was funny because I think both Neve Campbell and Denise Richards were like, not sure how it was going to go and they were nervous, and Neve Campbell has like a strict no nudity clause.
Oh, really?
So, and Denise Richards was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no problem. I'll definitely take my clothes off.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's beautiful. No problems here.
No, I think it's fine. I think there's a lot of chatter around that time as well, where it's like, we gotta see Denise Richards' boobs, you know.
Yeah.
And she's got boobs.
Yes, she does.
She's definitely got some boobs, so...
She certainly is
yeah.
a woman.
There was less chatter about Neve Campbell's boobs.
Well, because you don't see them.
You don't see them.
See nothing.
Yeah.
But they all went and got drunk on like margaritas and wine in their trailer before they filmed that scene. Because Neve Campbell's like, I've never kissed a woman before.
Oh, jeez.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
they had a nice time.
Yeah, they knew what they were getting themselves into. It's in the script.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I think John McNaughton was saying that he's very, very open about that sort of thing. He's like, if you signed up for it, you knew what it was going to be because it was in the script. Yeah. I didn't like all of a sudden throw people into a nude scene. That's just not how he was. So
no. I mean,
very transparent.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Yeah, I mean, there has to be a transparency there, otherwise problems happen.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree.
I don't know how much more we can kind of say for it, because certainly as the film begins, we're introduced to the Florida landscape and the Florida Keys, the Everglades, effectively.
Well, it's like South Florida, so around Miami and the Everglades and stuff. Not that far south, but
no.
Yeah.
So it kind of has everyone has a slightly sweaty disposition, but I guess like here's my thing, like it's Florida, so it's relatively quite. It has this feeling of being quite idyllic from the minute it starts.
Yes.
So everyone's relatively quite happy and cheerful, seemingly, leading their lives. And kind of what we delve further into as the film progresses is a slightly more darker socialite kind of underbelly to this community.
Yeah.
And that's primarily introduced through Denise Richards, who is a socialite brat.
Yes.
Pretty much. Who gets what she wants.
They run the town, which is always so funny in films where they're like, oh, this family runs this town. I'm like, where does that happen? Mm-hmm. In what world does that exist?
Yeah, because like I wouldn't put this in the same vein as like in terms of sweatiness, like the sweatiness factor, because I feel like that's very important for an erotic thriller.
Yeah, everything is moist.
Yeah, like there's open shirts, like there's a lot of sweat,
yeah.
Like no one's showering, like there's no AC running, like everyone's very sweaty. So I wouldn't put it in, say, the same vein as like a body heat.
No, yeah, absolutely.
I
was going to use body heat as like the top sweat marker, like a 10 out of 10 for sweat.
Yeah.
This is more like a 3. People are a lot less sweaty in this movie.
Yeah, everyone's very acclimated, and I'm not really 100% sure if I like that. But,
well, there's a thing that they wanted to show in this film where, like, how you were saying the landscape and everything is very beautiful and idyllic, and they wanted, I guess, that juxtaposition between all of the characters where you have this like beautiful landscape, beautiful houses, everyone's, everything's really nice and pretty, the school is lovely, but they're trash people. It's like trash human beings in a lovely landscape, because all these people are trash.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except for Bill Murray.
Well, who's
also kind of trash.
Well, actually, no. Everyone's motivated by money.
Yes.
So the thing is like, and this is just kind of the way the story goes, is that you've got your head honcho, and everyone just wants a piece of the pie. Like that's effectively what it is. And that's I mean that is what motivates everybody in this movie. And where the twists and turns kind of come in, and we just don't want to kind of like delve too far into them, because they're worth experiencing them yourself, is purely between like who's gonna get this money,
right? There's
so,
no trust between everybody. Where is the money? Well, I have the money?
As they say, there is no loyalty amongst thieves.
Indeed, Ryan.
Yeah, see?
Indeed.
So, I know. Aren't I a writer?
Clever.
Yeah. Fucking ugh. Anyway. But yeah, so Matt Dillon's a guidance teacher.
Yeah.
And he's
too nice.
Yeah, I guess he's like, well,
he's seemingly too nice.
He's seemingly too nice. The thing is that he's being led on slightly by Denise Richards' character.
Or just like hit on constantly.
Yeah. Well, she's just
washing his car and just sopping up her boobies for no reason.
Yeah, well, her whole agenda is that she's going to bed this dude before the end of senior year.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what's going to happen. She's going to fuck him.
Yeah.
And she has a bit of a conflict with her mother because her mother's already done that.
Right.
Yeah. So obviously he's been doing the rounds.
Yeah, I think he had slept. There was a thing like he slept with all the ladies in town. He's trying to get one of the socialite ladies to marry him, and it's just not working out yet. No,
for whatever reason. But like that's the community we're in, is that a lot of these people are rich, and he's looking for money. So
yeah.
So I guess like he gets accused of rape. There's this sense of mystery surrounding this moment where he gets accused of rape,
which is so funny. This guy gets accused of rape, rape.
Yeah,
that's rape. Don't mean to say it so many times, but Jesus Christ, it's rape.
Yeah, why are you saying it so many times?
Because I'm trying to get across the fact that this is like absolutely unimaginable, horrific crime, right?
Yeah.
And he's also in a place of power as a guidance counselor at this school, accused by a student, and he's just working. He's still at school, he's still working, and then he doesn't get arrested until someone else comes forward and say, oh yeah, he raped me too.
So basically, like...
it takes two, apparently. It takes two people to accuse someone of rape before they're actually arrested.
Oh, yeah. I think in terms of
it's
like
horrible.
In terms of like
he's like, oh, no one's in my sailing class anymore. Everyone dropped out of my sailing class. I'm like, yeah, because someone said that you raped them, dude. Like, you should be in straight prison. You need to be in prison.
Yeah, but I mean, it's her word against his. But his statement's not even taken. There's a lot of very questionable things being done by the South Florida police.
Right, and doesn't the principal go up to him and say, oh, hey, by the way, you've been accused of rape? He goes, yeah, and apparently I'm the last person to know. And I'm like, yeah, why?
Yeah, I didn't understand
Kevin
that personally.
Bacon, the cop, is sniffing around, asking everyone questions except the guy who's actually been accused.
Yeah.
Yeah, a statement needs to be taken. Where were you on this day? And let's look for evidence.
I mean,
at your house.
You kind of find out later why maybe they've not taken his statement.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
But so in the terms of like when you're trying to get involved in the movie and you're like, why aren't these really important specific things happening? It's like frustrating.
Yeah, I guess so.
But maybe that just makes you more involved.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess like there's some mind-boggling stuff kind of going on, and you're kind of soaked into the atmosphere of it all. I mean, I say all this because it's relatively quite middling. Like, I don't think Wild Things is a particularly great film, and I kind of feel like it could be a lot darker and it could be a lot sweatier. But at the same
There's
time,
some dark shit that happened like as the credits were rolling, which stick around for that when you watch the film.
Yeah, I guess like if you want to see a breakdown of how it all went down. Like that's the end credit sequence, the end credit sequence.
Right, for really real. Like to actually tell you how everything happened after the movie ends.
Yeah.
Bold.
Like Wolverine just showing up in a bar is not the end credit sequence that you were looking for here.
Yeah, like, Jesus. Marvel, get it together. You want to look for an end credit scene, just look to Wild Things.
Yeah, just go to the mastery that Wild Things is, and then everything will be fine.
The old full frontal scene.
Yeah, I think let's just get right into that.
Okay, this comes in at 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 21 seconds, and as you can imagine, this movie is about 1 hour 50, so right at the end of the movie.
Pretty much.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, it's Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon, and I was also wondering throughout the whole movie, because I know Kevin Bacon gets naked in this movie at his very first full frontal movie, and I hadn't seen this movie since I was young, so I couldn't remember how this occurred. Yep. And also, you're watching the movie, and you have no idea how this can happen until it does, and then it all makes sense, kind of.
Well, yeah, I mean, it takes you down a route. I mean, I guess I'm probably the most qualified to talk about it from that perspective, because this was the first time seeing it all the way through.
Okay.
And I was kind of just like, how the fuck do we get to this point? And then you're like, that's how it happened. I see. Basically, everyone's conspiring against each other, and they all end up in the same soup, effectively.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Matt Dillon goes back to his abode, and there's this revisiting of something that happened earlier in the movie, where there's dirty footprints leading through his door to a room in his house, and he's like, "They're not mine." Although this was sand, but these are like dirty, muddy footprints.
I know.
In this fucking beach
it was
house.
Super weird, because he's obviously on vacation drinking pina coladas, or you know, he's off to the Caribbean or wherever he went after he got all the millions. And yeah, the muddy footprints don't make a lick of sense.
No.
Absolutely zero sense, because it's like beautiful white sand.
Well, the prop guy should have said something, or the prop guy shouldn't have been so subservient to just like, yeah, no, that's fine.
Or give it something else. The door is open when it was closed before.
Or wet footprints from sand. Or
there's like clothes or something on the ground.
Or put like a massive dog shit like right at the bottom of the stairs. So he's like
he almost trips in it. Like Matt Dillon almost trips in it and then realizes someone else already did.
Or he did trip in it and he's got sandals on. He's got it between his toes and he's like, no. I can't believe it. Oh my fucking God.
And then he has to go into the shower to wipe off all the filthy poo, and then he realized, bada boom, there's Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, he takes a fucking butcher's knife and he's about ready to just chop his foot off, because he's had, like, this is it. This is the end of days. Like, this isn't going to happen.
It's like that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David steps in the dog poo and throws his shoes in the trash. I'm not joking.
Like, I have considered just throwing shoes away after that's happened to me.
It does get in the grooves. In the crevices.
Because folk are fucking scumbags.
Forever
they just let
unclean.
their dogs fucking shit everywhere.
I know, it's really bad.
They don't look after them.
Just pick up your dog's
poop. Think you're
poop.
above the law. Well, you're not above the law. I've seen you. I know who you are. This is the way it's going to be. I am the law. I have like thought about like putting little flags in them and stuff like that when we see them in the street.
See, and it'll say like, is this a piece of shit? No, you're a piece of shit.
Well, no, it'd be a flag with a QR code on it. And they would scan the QR code and they'd be like, what's this? And they'd look at it and then it would just be a video.
Of what?
I don't know, a man in a mask.
Or it'll like automatically put dog poo bags in your Amazon shopping cart.
It can do, you know what it could do? It could do that 90s thing where like hackers would do that. Or like if they were, like there was cops like trying to catch a killer and they'd switch on a computer. And it would just come up and be like, I am watching you, like in the big type, like in like impact type, you know, and they just be, I am watching you, and they'd be like, where?
That's right, we're everywhere.
Yeah, murder is everywhere.
The dog poo vigilantes.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I don't know why you do it. If you can't pick your dog shit up, you don't deserve to have a dog. It's as simple as that. Anyway, we're going way off track. We're talking about
Matt Dillon does not step in dog shit.
No.
But he does step in on Kevin Bacon in the shower.
He's led into his abode and the shower's running and he's like, what is this? And it's basically it's Kevin Bacon taking a shower.
Yeah, why not? What does he say when he opens the shower door? Kevin Bacon says a thing and I think you wrote it down.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, partner.
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm. As much as we said we're not talking about spoilers, we're keeping it relatively quite light. This almost counts as like a spoiler.
Yeah.
And I've already kind of said a bunch of things anyway. I'm just not
being very specific about it. But it still doesn't spoil the movie, weirdly enough.
No, because we're going to stop talking about it after we stop talking about the dick.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, I love that. He's in the shower and they're just having a chat. And the way that the full frontal scene kind of comes about is very organic because Matt Dillon just hands him a towel.
Yeah.
And he grabs the towel.
Yeah.
And I guess they had done several takes of that particular scene or of that particular shot. And it looked like, I feel like I read somewhere that every single shot it was covered. His penis was covered. And then there was one where it wasn't. And John McNaughton's like, I like this one though. This one's the best one. And Kevin Bacon originally always had a non-nudity clause in his contracts as well. And he's the producer on this film.
Okay.
And so John McNaughton had to go up to him and show him the shot and ask him, like, is this okay?
So hold on. Kevin Bacon is the producer on this film.
Correct.
But he thought the thing was fucking trash.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, he thought it was trash, but there were so many twisty-turnies that he was like, I'm interested. And it was the first film he'd ever produced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we've all got to start somewhere, I suppose. But,
yeah.
Yeah. But again, this is Kevin Bacon. Like, he can fucking do whatever the fuck he wants.
Absolutely.
At this point.
And
so
he
it
should.
doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
Okay, so McNaughton goes, okay, I got your penis in this shot.
Mm.
And Kevin Bacon's like, oh. And he asks them, he goes, well, how does it look? And they go, it looks great. He goes, that's fine. And that's how Kevin Bacon's penis ended up in this movie. And he said that I guess if he hadn't have like agreed to have his penis in the movie, then he would have had to have sued himself.
Wow, okay.
Because he was a producer.
Yeah. That's like some Wild Things twisty turny shit
I
right
know.
there. Yeah, I know.
I know.
He's like the defense and the prosecution.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's just funny that he was just like, how does it look? They're like, it looks great. Good. We'll keep it in, whatever.
Yeah, well, they're not going to say it looks terrible.
Fair. And he said, I'm glad the water was hot.
Yes, because they can shrivel in the cold.
You know.
That's why I'm in Florida.
As George Costanza would say, I was in the pool. Shrinkage.
Yeah, another Seinfeld reference.
My first one today, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I'm talking from episode to episode. Like it's
I'm going to get
constant.
through. I'm going to make a reference from every single Seinfeld episode throughout the course of these podcasts. So
his dick's very much an incidental thing. It just
incidental penis, but very much makes sense. And people.
It's because the frame's wide enough for us to see it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we never would have seen it. And it's not like you see it for a long time either, because he gets the towel on and everything's kind of there. But I like the fact that in this scene, the way that it pans out, and obviously they're conspiring with each other on this whole plot and stuff. It is literally a case of like, hey, I'm naked, fucking deal with it. You know? Yeah. And it's kind of Matt Dillon's just like, no, that's his dick.
Yeah, there it is. It's fine because, it's fine.
Yeah. It might be different. I mean, I don't know. There's like, the men's locker room mentality and things like that. Like you see all sorts of dicks. Certainly that is something I've not had to experience until I started going to the gym here.
Oh.
Where you see cock, just constant amounts of cock. Like it's insane. Yeah. Like if you want to feel comfortable with that, I have seen some cock and I'm just like, right, okay. Like I'm still very much of the mentality of like, you're not really allowed to do that, like back home, like at the swimming baths and stuff like that. Like it's kind of frowned upon to be like, like someone would take you aside and be like, no. Like, then don't do that. Like cover yourself up or put a fucking towel around you or something like that. Don't fucking show me it.
Well, there's a lot of things going on in the men's locker room at the YMCA.
Oh yeah, no,
there's a lot of things going on in there. There's a lot of
stuff going on, and I'm not knocking the YMCA. I think it's just like it's an eye opening. It's a new experience for me.
Yeah,
I don't know if I was ready, but I think I get in there and I get myself straight out again.
Yeah,
because I'm not dealing with it, and I'm not, I'm not a small man by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah,
no one's gonna fuck with me in the locker room. That's for sure, but. Out of courtesy, out of decency, and I don't want to ruin the rest of my day. That's why I kind of book it out of there as quickly as I can, even if I'm still slightly wet. I'm like, the Florida air will dry me. I do not need to see fucking balls and dick clanging against thighs any more than I need to.
Much older men.
Yes, everything starts to sag the older you get.
Tell me more in detail. Draw me a picture.
Well, I don't know, like... it's just everything starts to hang a little bit lower as it goes.
It happens to the best of us, Ryan, unfortunately.
Gravity takes its toll.
Ouch.
Yeah, so...
I have one thing to say about this scene.
Okay.
This Kevin Bacon scene, our full frontal scene. But there was another scene shot that they cut out of the movie.
Uh-huh.
And it's something that we discussed when we were watching the film yesterday, where we thought this was going to go, because I obviously had forgotten this movie, where Matt Dillon actually gets into the shower with Kevin Bacon and they kiss. They shot that.
Fuck off.
They fucking did. Right?
Yeah.
You called it too.
Yeah, I did call it
and
as well.
And it didn't happen. They cut it out of the movie. But I
Wow.
guess Matt Dillon was saying that was shot, and he was ecstatic that they took it out because he's like, it's too much. For a film that's already a lot, it was too much.
Yeah, because certainly the chemistry between them, there is a bit of chemistry between them as the scene starts.
That's
and
true.
Then you see where it's going, and I was like,
I would have bought it. I was ready for it.
Yeah, probably.
Like getting in that shower? Hell yeah.
Probably. I mean, yeah, like I would have taken it. I mean, I wouldn't have been. So would Matt Dillon. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It depends. Who's your sloppy party bottom? Like, who's that one?
It's true.
Don't even answer that question.
Okay.
So let's just
I would have
move
loved
on.
it. It would have been cool.
Yeah, I love the fact I called it as well.
I know.
Though it makes me feel really, really happy with myself. Jesus Christ. It means I'm like on par with the screenwriter of Wild Things.
That's right.
Yeah. And I don't know where to take that.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a batch of pills in the bathroom cupboard. I'll just have a look at them.
What, the Tums? He OD'd on Tums. Jesus Christ.
How did your husband go, Tums? Oh, it's a horrible way to go.
That's rough. I can tell you some fun things, and it'll see if it'll jog any particular scenes.
Yeah, if you want to.
So apparently when they were filming in the Everglades, you might have read this as well, but they had to stop shooting because there was a dead body floating in the water, like an actual dead body.
Oh, okay.
And so they had to call the police, and the police were like super cool. They're like, hey, you filming a movie? And they're like, yeah. They're like, okay, no worries. And then they just took the body and dragged it in the water over to the dock and held the dead body in the water so they could finish filming.
Oh, wow.
And then they dealt with the crime.
Oh,
after.
shit. Okay.
Yeah. Also, there were a bunch of tornadoes, apparently, in the Everglades, and it almost destroyed a bunch of their trailers.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
It's storm country.
Hell yeah. And I think they filmed it in the summertime, which is rough.
Yeah, then why is it not sweatier? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it should be like searing fucking heat.
They're all a little bit too matte.
Really
they
wet.
Need to be a little shinier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Lots of bugs and stuff. Like, it should be really, really stinky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I can understand that. The thing is, just because they found a dead body in the glades, right, doesn't necessarily mean that it was a murder. Because if you get lost out there, if you find yourself there, like, you're more than likely gonna die. Like, there's no help coming to you.
You're not wrong.
It's like the wet desert. Like, there's no way anyone's able to find you or get you until
not
long
wrong.
after you're past. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
you're
when I was working out there and no one told us that there were going to be water moccasins and none of us were wearing snake gaiters, and we realized that if we did get bit,
yeah,
we would most likely perish.
Yeah.
Because in order to get out from where we were, it would take about an hour, and that would take God knows how long to get to a hospital if they had like snake antidote, anti-venom.
Anti-venom, yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah.
Snake potion.
Well, you could have got your gaiters from Whores for Less.
Oh yeah, just like
that's a really
Nev
popular
Campbell.
store. Yeah, she got her shoes from Whores for Less.
Such a stupid thing to say.
Yeah, because we never
What a
actually
stupid
see
line.
we never see her shoes, and when we do see her shoes, they look relatively quite practical. So
Yeah.
I don't really know. Yeah, weird school kids stuff that kids say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Denise Richards spends pretty much the first part of the movie being like innuendo town. Like, that's all she's talking about.
What does she walks up to Matt Dillon and this other boy, and what does she say? Something like,
Give me a ride, or
no, she's like, can I play too, or is it just for boys? Or something.
yeah, it's like, what?
Like, what are you talking about?
It's like, what are you accusing me of now?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, it's like, what?
So weird.
Very strange, yeah. And she wants a ride. She's always wanting a ride. It's like,
Aren't we all?
Mr. Lombardi, can you just give me a ride? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but
Did you know that Robert Downey Jr. was initially going to be cast in the role that Matt Dillon ended up getting?
okay.
It was right around the time where he was going into rehab, and so he was weirdly like a hot ticket in Hollywood, even though he was like a hot mess. Yeah. And so everyone was like, "Oh, we want Robert Downey Jr. because he's a fucking mess." And he's like, "No, guys, I'm in rehab." And also this, I guess, is like a studio or the insurance company was like, "We can't insure this guy."
Yeah, there's no way.
He's a hot mess. Poor thing.
Yeah. Well, he'd already done Chaplin, and he'd already done.
I love Chaplin.
He'd already done U.S. Marshals because he's in that movie as well.
Yeah.
So he could have played the secretive scumbag like relatively quite well.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
But Matt Dillon's pretty good. But he's just a straight up scumbag looking kind of person. Sorry, Matt Dillon.
My boy Matt.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I do like Matt Dillon.
I like Matt Dillon too, but he has a face of a,
Yeah, he has
untrustworthy.
Yeah, but I mean, he's
like there's something about Mary.
Yeah, well, let's be. He's an actor, so he's able to do these things. It's like, I mean, I guess like the last thing I saw him in properly was the Paul Haggis Crash movie, where he plays the underlying racist, but he's also looking after his infirm father.
Oh,
yes, that movie, the racist movie.
Right.
The racist car crash movie, not the sexy car crash movie.
Yeah, give me the sexy car crash movie.
Yeah, I'd rather have the sexy than the racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people would say that, really. You don't want to be mixing your racism with your sexiness. That's not going to do you any good.
No. Do you remember when we were getting ready we were making dinner last night, and we're like, all right, we're going to watch Wild Things. But we weren't quite ready to get our head into it. No. And then I had read that there is an episode of this show on Hulu called Pen 15.
Yeah.
That I think we had watched 1 or 2 episodes before. It didn't really grab us too much. And it is funny.
Yeah, we watched the first 3 episodes. So like we had the pilot and the first couple.
Yeah, we didn't fully embrace it.
I couldn't get past the fact that they are grown women playing very young versions of themselves surrounded by children.
When we watched this episode called Wild Things, which is why we watched it, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. Very funny. Very strange.
Yeah.
But this episode, it was basically an older cousin is able to rent with someone else's like Blockbuster card a copy of Wild Things.
Yes.
And it's this like, oh my gosh, we rented Wild Things. You're going to come over and watch Wild Things. And everyone's like, oh my God. This little kid, he says, oh my God. He's like, I watched it in the theater and I jizzed everywhere. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So gross. But the episode's very funny. I would recommend watching it. But it reminded me of like a bunch of your friends wanting to watch something that you really shouldn't be watching.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of an incident when I was 13 and the movie Varsity Blues had come out.
Okay.
Do you remember like the whipped cream scene?
No.
Okay. It's like James Van Der Beek and he goes over to his girlfriend's house.
Oof, James Van Der Beek.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
And she is like gonna give him a gift and the gift is her boobs.
Okay.
I suppose. And she puts whipped cream all on her boobies and a little cherry on it, I think. And if I'm remembering this right, because I have not seen this movie since I was 13. But we went and saw that, but told our parents we were gonna go watch You've Got Mail.
Okay.
In the theater. So we bought tickets to You've Got Mail and snuck our little 13-year-old butts over to Varsity Blues, which was very crowded and very busy. But You've Got Mail was not very crowded and very busy.
Okay.
And apparently we didn't time it properly. So my dad came to pick us up, went and couldn't find us. We're not standing outside. He's searching for us and You've Got Mail. Obviously, a bunch of 13-year-olds are not sitting watching You've Got Mail at whatever time of night this is. And he found us in Varsity Blues.
Oh, wow.
He was furious. And my dad being, this like wearing leather, mustache, Harley Davidson sunglasses, motorcycle papa, like fucking terrifying.
Yeah, he's pretty scary. He's scary. Yeah, he can be scary. So.
And all my friends are like, oh no. And of course we're in trouble for watching Varsity Blues. I've got tons of weird stories about me doing things I wasn't supposed to do when I was little. And then inevitably getting caught because I'm not
good at it.
No.
I
don't have any accolades except for this film. I think it was just the scene between Denise Richards and Neve Campbell was nominated for Best Kiss at the MTV Movie Awards, but didn't win. And now that I'm saying this out loud, I don't know who won.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, weirdly, this one didn't win after all of the, you know.
You mean all of the shitey media hype?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Who cares, really? Like the scene in general and all that sort of stuff, and as it kind of happens and things like that, it's not as sexy as you remember.
No.
It's kind of just what it is.
I only have one more thing I want to mention.
What is that?
That the guy who did the music for this, George S. Clinton,
yes,
not to be confused with the funk musician George Clinton, did the score, but he also did all of the Austin Powers movies.
Oh, okay, good.
And he did the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah, right?
Yeah, good. Good for him.
The score to this movie is awesome. The soundtrack's really good too.
Yeah.
Semi-Charmed Life. You can't have a movie in the late 90s without having Semi-Charmed Life in it.
Okay.
You don't remember that part?
I can't remember.
Do.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess like the problem is with Semi-Charmed Life is that like it dates everything.
Semi-Charmed kind of life.
Yeah.
Baby. Yeah, it does. It does, but it's still good.
It does date things, yeah. Like bleach tips and all that sort of thing. Like, so, like,
or when guys would like comb their bangs down.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's like they're begging for the 2000s to come. Then they realize, no, the 2000s is just an extension of the 90s.
Yep, it doesn't get any better.
It doesn't get any better.
More frosted tips.
Yeah, technically it hasn't got any better now. We're in the 2020s.
People are dressing like that again. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Like, don't wear clothes that looks like you're in Friends.
Yeah, that's
Friends
why
is terrible.
everyone's so emotionally fucked up.
Sorry.
Is that they do not have an identity.
Sorry.
They have got nothing to latch themselves onto.
Ah.
Yeah. I am so fucking furious with everything. I don't care what it is. I hate it.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like that when I wake up every day.
Yeah, it's like every time I get onto film Twitter and I'm like, fuck.
Would you recommend this movie, Ryan?
Yeah, it's a product of the time, so I kind of feel like anything like that you should be interested in seeing at least once.
Yeah. Yeah, I also
silly.
would.
Yeah, it's silly. It's a little bit sexy.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you know. It's
Yeah,
always good to go back and be like, well, actually no, well, Denise Richards and Nev never scored on each other again, did they?
I don't think so.
No.
They were talking about doing another film with John McNaughton and the cast.
Uh-huh.
But it never came to be.
Huh. Well, there you go then.
So it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
No one's chomping at the bit for more of this, apparently. Even though they did have the 3 sequels, but completely different.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it was successful, so I mean, they're gonna make sequels off of something that's successful. It doesn't mean if it's any good.
It wasn't that successful.
Okay.
Actually, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it wasn't like a box office blowout. I think the first weekend it had high numbers and then just like fell off.
But
mostly
sells.
it was the home video release that really like bumped it up.
I thought you were talking about Kevin Bacon's little home video, the saucy video he shoots in the bushes. Well, they're having
my god,
they're having Rumpy Rump in the pool.
Love a bit of voyeurism. Kudos to Kevin Bacon.
Okay.
What?
No, that's fine.
It's fun.
And plus, it wasn't Kevin Bacon doing it. He wasn't just.
Kudos to Sergeant Ray Duquette.
Yeah, there you go. It's better.
Being creepy as hell.
Yeah, well.
And then he films Denise Richards and Nev Campbell like making out in the pool.
Yeah.
And then takes it to work. And then plays it on the TV at work.
Yeah.
His boss is like, dude, you can't do this. He's like, it's illegal in so many ways.
Yeah. Well, he's just standing there. He's got one hand in his pocket. He's holding the remote and he's just watching it because the TV's mounted on the wall.
Yeah.
In the corner of the room. And he's just like sitting there watching it. Hand in his pocket.
He's like, see, it's evidence.
Yeah, see, I told you. You don't believe me, do you?
Like, no.
No, it's like, what are you talking about?
You're wasting your time. Stop. Oh my God, so funny.
Would you recommend the film?
Yeah, definitely. And right now, as of the recording of this episode, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, there was no warning on it that it was like going away by the end of the year, so
That's
it should
true.
still be there.
It should be there by the time that this comes out, and I usually write on the Instagram and stuff, and that you can still watch it places. So
yeah.
I'll continue to do that great service for you, people.
Look at that! What a service that is.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. So ratings, I guess. Ratings.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I gave the film 3.5.
So did I.
Because it's good and it's better than I remember. So 3.5.
Yeah, it's silly.
It is silly, and I think
silly.
It helps that when they filmed it, they didn't take it too seriously, and I think it's because it's goofy as hell.
Yeah, it's a bit. There's some silly nonsense going on,
but it works. I don't think you could play this completely straight. It's a little bit off the wall, like insane.
Yeah,
it's an insane premise.
Yeah, no eyes, but yeah, it's kind of one of those. I would say like it's
yeah.
I'll just carry on.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
For the frontal scene, I didn't write it down, but I think from what I remember, I gave it 4. Okay. Because out of your visibility and context, it's great.
Yeah.
You know, it's and it's I don't know. I have no issues with it. I think it's great being there. I think the story behind that scene in general is very amusing as well.
I'm just going to say that I agree with that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I haven't really got anything else to kind of say on it other than the fact that he's in the shower, he's naked, he's there.
He had said, because people in interviews, especially when he was doing the press tour in America, all of the people were like, oh my God, you're naked in this movie. Wow. And they're like, how did that happen? He goes, well, I've never taken a shower with a swimsuit on.
That makes sense. And
the European audiences never asked him about it at all because it's normal in most part. Well, maybe not most parts of the world, but at least to a European audience, like a man being naked in a movie is.
It's not strange. It's not strange. Well, the thing, they've got more of an idea of balance and sexual freedom and stuff than they do in the US and certainly the UK film markets.
It's definitely something that we've talked about, especially you have brought up that, you know, it's more American views on nudity and sexuality and stuff is still based on a bit of Puritanism.
Yeah.
Which Kevin Bacon has also mentioned that, you know, America's quite pure in that way. And so it's always a bit shocking to them. Yeah. So.
There's a sense of innocence and stuff like that I kind of feel like people are harboring. They're just not ready for it.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. That's why we're here, though.
Yeah, but then also that sort of ideal, that's like what got people burned at the stake as well. So like, don't get too kind of hung up on it.
Oh dear.
You know, the stiff upper lip, certainly I would say from the UK still exists, like very much so, you know.
You think?
The stiff upper lip? Fuck yeah, it
does. In terms of nudity?
I think in nudity, and I think just in general, like the stiff upper lip.
What about that?
I've seen it more prominently over the last few years in the UK.
What about that show that we watched that's just on regular TV where it's like that dating show where you get people naked and then you rate them and you go on a date based on what their genitals look like.
It's shown on Channel 4, one of the Channel 4 like cable channels at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Okay.
It doesn't count.
Well, that show is hilarious.
It's also a little gross.
It is gross.
That's the kind of nudity where I'm like...
What's that show called? Do you remember?
Something like Naked Obsession or Naked... The Naked Truth or some Naked Dating. I can't remember.
Naked Dating show.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I can figure it out if you can. Because we were going to talk about Free the Bacon as well. You've completely forgotten about it.
I know, I didn't forget about it. Yeah. I'm going to bring it up right now as we are closing this out. I don't know if anyone... I hope that you've seen this video on YouTube called Free the Bacon, where Kevin Bacon is advocating for more frontal male nudity. He brings up... He wants to see more wieners, balls, and butts from the men, which is super funny, especially coming from someone that has more of a reputation for being nude than actually exists.
Yeah.
You know? But Kevin Bacon is an absolute gem and very funny, and it's worth watching that video. We're going to start using that hashtag again. Free the bacon.
We can, yes. I think well, I don't know. I feel like he's either stumbled into it in such a way that he felt the need to either parody or make a joke of it, because I don't know, like he's making a joke of it because it is such a big deal, and it kind of harkens back to things I've said about the depiction of stories like that in mainstream media, where they make a bigger deal out of it than it actually should be.
Definitely.
You know, because I don't see male nudity as like this secretive, like elephant in the room, like storytelling device. Like,
right.
Like I can understand it being segmented off as in terms of like a ratings board idea, where like, well, if you're going to show a dick, we obviously can't show it to the children. But at the same time, it shouldn't be so curtailed off in such a way where there's this massive disparity between showing male nudity and female nudity.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I appreciate what he's trying to do, and it is very funny. But you know, we need more of that.
Well, I mean, the 2022 and certainly the end of 2021, like there's been so much more buzz and heat about male nudity to such an extent. So I mean, I feel like we're in a very serendipitous situation where we're covering it a little bit more strictly. I would also say that we will be taking a lot of that stuff with a pinch of salt, because I feel like it draws more eyes than it deserves for the most part. I feel like it's a cheap ploy to get people to read articles.
Depending on how they're written, absolutely, because it shouldn't be the forefront of anything. It should just be part of a whole.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be the focus. I mean...
Because male nudity in cinema, nothing new.
No.
And if we think about like history and stuff like that, depictions of the penis in history, and you'll be able to tell that more than I can, it's definitely not new.
I do have a master's degree in penises.
Yes. So that Channel 4 show was a show called Naked Attraction.
Right.
And I would say if you want to go seek it out, you can. If you're from the UK, you 100% must have seen it or heard of it at some point. For the most part, I find this thing is a bit gross.
It is gross, and we watched an episode and it was real gross.
Because it's real. But it's real people who are naked. But that's the thing.
It's a funny thing that show exists, because that show would never exist in America.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
No fucking way.
And it's not like a blurred out show. Like, they're naked people.
No.
There's wieners, there's balls, there's butts.
Well, the thing is,
boobies,
they don't
everything.
show the person's face until the last part of the attraction cycle.
Right.
So they show you the bush or the genitals. They show you the chest and stuff like that.
And then you have to pick them based on like how attractive you find these guys or these women's naked bodies.
They're bits and bobs.
And guess what? Spoiler, it never works out. They go on a date and they end up fucking hating each other.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's all about personality.
Yep.
You gotta, like, I mean, the biggest dick does not respond to maybe the best personality, let's put it that way. So... Yeah, I don't know anything to worry about.
Talk to each other first.
Yeah, talk to them first.
Find common ground.
Yes, because
But also keep making that show. It's funny.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it again. It's gross, but...
No, I just don't like it. Watching it in general. It's actually a little bit boring. But anyway.
Okay, well...
Who cares?
On that note,
continue on.
Thank you, Ryan, for joining
It's over?
me. Yes,
oh, okay.
I'm finishing this. I don't want to talk about wild things anymore.
No, okay. That's fine.
But we'll see you guys again soon, and make sure to share us with your friends. Rate, review. You can do it on Spotify, on your Apples, on your internets, whatever.
Yeah. Catch us on Twitter. Catch us on Instagram at
true.
On The Beat.
Yeah, and also send us more movie recommendations or things that you've seen that maybe we haven't covered yet, or that you didn't see on the website, because we've been getting emails and we've been getting DMs, and I fucking love it.
We do have at least 200 films on the docket right now.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, so we
Tons.
we're pretty much set.
I'd still like to get them, because there's sometimes people will send us some that I didn't know about, so I can put them in and we can watch them. Yeah,
let's be fair. If you're an audience listener and you're listening to us on a regular basis, then make yourself known, because as it stands right now, I don't know if we have an audience.
Oh, shut up.
So I just please.
I see the numbers, we do. But yes, I would like to hear from more people.
Yeah. Well, I'm the frontman. I'm the one who puts all the art and the stuff that people see, and they see all the design. You're the person behind the scenes who's dealing with all the maths.
Yeah.
Because I can't do maths.
I'm the one crunching the numbers.
Yeah, you're the one adding the 4 downloads we had this week with the 2 downloads we had the week before.
Yeah.
So
we're busting those numbers up.
So fucking listen to us.
If they're still listening to us, then they're fine, and I thank you for that. But yeah, send us more messages on Twitter.
Fucking make it feel like I've wasted my fucking time.
Instagram.
Fucking sick of it.
So mad.
Let's just go. Let's get out of here. Don't deserve it.
Coming to you from the Glades Motel.
Nice.
I've been Laura.
Ryan.
See you next time, y'all.